Imagine stepping out your door to the roar of a chainsaw, only to find your HOA president hacking away at your home's lifeline like she's auditioning for a bad slasher flick. But what if that petty power play sparks a neighborhood rebellion that exposes her as the real criminal, turning her kingdom into a ghost town of regret? In the sleepy suburb of Willow Creek, Ohio, where manicured lawns hid a web of ridiculous rules, Marcus Hale had lived quietly for years. Whispers followed him like shadows, rumors spread by the HOA grapevine that he was some shady recluse, dodging fines because he didn't fit the community aesthetic. Marcus, a soft-spoken IT specialist for the local utility company, never bit back. He just watched, noting every absurd citation, the one for his garden gnomes being too whimsical, or the demand to repaint his fence because beige wasn't neutral enough. But inside, he cataloged it all, waiting for the right moment. The air in Willow Creek felt thick, like everyone was holding their breath under the thumb of Gloria Finch, the HOA queen bee. Gloria, with her perfectly coiffed hair and pearl necklace, preached about upholding standards at every meeting, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "We're all in this together," she'd say, while fining folks for hanging holiday lights a day too early. She ruled with an iron clipboard, manipulating newsletters to paint dissenters as troublemakers, all to cling to her elected throne. Fear of her enforcement squad, a gaggle of nosy retirees, kept most silent. But Marcus? He saw the cracks in her facade, the way her smile tightened when challenged. One crisp Saturday morning, the tension snapped like a frayed wire. Marcus was tinkering in his garage, installing eco-friendly LED lights that Gloria had already flagged as non-compliant energy sources. The whir of a chainsaw pierced the quiet cul-de-sac. He bolted outside, heart pounding, to find Gloria standing by his meter box, decked in a neon safety vest that screamed official business. The tool buzzed in her hands, inches from the main cable. "Gloria, what in God's name are you doing?" Marcus yelled, his voice steady despite the shock. She didn't flinch, revving the engine louder. "You've been cited 3 times. Marcus. Illegal lighting upgrades and that eyesore of a compost bin. Standards must be enforced." Before he could lunge forward, she swung, sparks erupted as the blade severed the line. His house went dark instantly. Fridge humming to a stop. Security system beeping its death knell. A cluster of HOA loyalists lingered on the sidewalk, nodding approvingly, one even snapping a photo for the compliance log. "This is vandalism." Marcus spat, phone already in hand. Gloria shut off the saw, her face a mask of righteous calm. "No, dear. It's consequence. Without order, we descend into chaos. Think of the property values." She sauntered off, leaving him in the literal dark, her entourage trailing like obedient ducks. Marcus called the utility hotline, 3 days minimum for repairs. They said. That night, he sat on his porch with a lantern, sipping black coffee, fury simmering. Gloria had crossed from petty to personal. But she didn't know Marcus wasn't just any neighbor. His day job gave him access to the city's grid schematics, all above board. She'd cut his power, now he'd flip the switch on hers. As word trickled out, twisted by Gloria's newsletter into a necessary intervention against a non-compliant resident, the neighborhood buzzed with unease. Marcus stayed mum publicly, but privately, he dug into the HOA bylaws and utility codes. By dawn, he'd filed a safety anomaly report on the shared grid nodes servicing the common areas, including Gloria's pristine colonial. It cited irregular voltage spikes, a valid flag that triggered an auto-shutdown protocol. Perfectly legal. Utterly devastating. Water mains locked. Power flickered out. Gas lines sealed, for a mandatory 7-day inspection backlog. Gloria discovered it mid-morning routine. Her Keurig sputtering dry. She stormed to Marcus's driveway that evening. Flashlight beam slicing the twilight. Her usual poise cracking. "What have you done? You sneaky little saboteur," she hissed, jabbing the light like an accusatory finger. Marcus leaned on his fence. His own power quietly restored via a personal bypass he'd engineered. "Me? I just followed protocol." Gloria. Page 84 of the municipal regs, any shared grid irregularity requires full audit. You of all people should appreciate standards. Her eyes narrowed. Cheeks flushing. This is retaliation. You've put the whole community at risk for your ego. He smirked faintly. Funny. That's exactly how I felt watching you play lumberjack with live wires. Police have the footage. By the way. Felony territory. She balked. Mouth agape like she'd swallowed a lemon. You're bluffing. The board will evict you for this. Evict? I own this place free and clear. But you? Better call your lawyer before the detectives do. Gloria spun away. Her beam wobbling. Muttering about ungrateful outliers. Meanwhile, the outage lit a fire under the residence. Without AC or flushing toilets. Passive complainers turned vocal. A group gathered on the street. Robes flapping. Cold cereal bowls in hand. This is Gloria's mess, grumbled Ed. A burly mechanic. She promised upgrades. Not blackouts. They marched to her gate. Demanding answers. Gloria peered out. Arms crossed. It's a minor hiccup for essential maintenance. Patience builds character. A mom in slippers shot back. My kid's asthma inhaler needs charging. What character does that build? Gloria waved them off. We're addressing it per bylaws. But Ed pressed, you're not even certified. Gloria. We checked the state registry. Her face paled. Gate slamming shut. Emails flooded Marcus's inbox that night, neighbors sharing stories of Gloria's tyranny, fines for unauthorized bird feeders, threats over parked RVs. An accountant neighbor offered to notarize affidavits. By midnight, Marcus's garage hosted an impromptu summit. Pizza boxes stacking amid printed charters. The powder keg ignited the next day. Marcus compiled the testimonies, pages of absurd infractions. Like Gloria finding a widow for excessive flower pots during chemo. He unearthed a receipt trail, HOA dues siphoned to a consulting firm owned by her brother-in-law. Conflict of interest. Plain as day. Filing it all with the county HOA oversight and police. Marcus watched the dominoes fall. Detective Reyes reviewed the chainsaw video. Whistling low. She's got priors, petty harassment and 12. Fence dispute gone wrong. By afternoon. A squad car idled at Gloria's curb. She answered the door in yoga pants. Confidence crumbling as officers read charges, vandalism. Utility tampering. This is a conspiracy, she shrieked. Pearls clutching her neck. I'm protecting the community. Neighbors watched from lawns as cuffs clicked. Her loyalists scattering like roaches. You can't do this, I am the HOA, she wailed. Voice cracking into hysteria. The arrest fueled the fire, that evening. An emergency vote dissolved the board. Gloria's cronies protested, protocol wasn't followed. But a paralegal resident shut them down, quorum met. Notice given, vote stands. It passed in a landslide. A interim committee formed. With Marcus, Ed, and others vowing no more nonsense rules. Utilities hummed back online the next morning. But the audit dug deeper. Line items for enhancement projects led to phantom companies. Funds funneled offshore. The DA got involved. This screams embezzlement. Maybe fraud. Subpoenas flew. Neighbors unearthed more fake permits for green initiatives that wrecked a protected wetland behind the lots. Gloria had forged inspections, risking floods for kickbacks. FBI agents carted boxes from her home office. Her nephew flipping for leniency. She dragged us in blind, he confessed. The neighborhood transformed, barbecues erupted. Kids biked freely. No clipboard patrols. Gloria's house went up for sale. Yellow tape fluttering. As crews repaired her environmental mess, billed to liquidated HOA assets. In the end, Gloria pled guilty to a slew of felonies: fraud, forgery, environmental violations. 5 years federal time. Assets seized. Her empire reduced to a prison jumpsuit. The new voluntary association hosted its first block party, jazz drifting. Laughter echoing, where folks swapped stories of liberation. Marcus stood back, watching fireflies dance. As Ed clapped his shoulder. She thought she owned us. Nah, Marcus replied. She just rented the fear, till we evicted it. The suburb breathed easy. Rules rewritten by the people. For the people. But here's the twist that lingers: was Gloria the villain? Or just the symptom of a system that lets petty tyrants flourish? You tell me, was cutting that wire her biggest mistake? Or was it underestimating the quiet ones who fight back smarter?